upgraded American League East pitching staff, and definitely, what was he last year? 198.
Right.
When you want to do best and worst case scenario for Mark Reynolds, Mark Reynolds last year hit 32 homers, knocked in 85 runs, hit 198, struck out 211 times. He could definitely duplicate those numbers.
Oh, I think that's a...
He definitely could.
And he might not do it by hitting as many home runs.
He definitely could duplicate those numbers.
I'm,
In the American League East, 32 homers, 85 runs batted in, 211 strikeouts, and hit 198. He could definitely duplicate those numbers. He's not going to hit 198 again. I don't think. I don't think he's going to hit 198. Now, he had 260 the year before. He had 239 the year before that. He had 279. He's a 240 hitter, is my guess, who hit 198 a year ago. Okay. So if I said, here's what he's going to do, my guess is Reynolds is going to hit in the 30 home run range. He's not going to hit 45 homers.
Here's the problem.
He's going to hit 30 homers. He's going to hit 240. He's going to drive in 80 runs, and all of that's better than what they had. It's all better. It's better than what Tejada would have done. It's better than what Josh Bell would have done. It's better than some combination of Garrett Atkins and Miguel Tejada. If Mark Reynolds hits 30 homers, drives in 85 runs, hits 240, that's way, way better than what Tejada would have done.
And does that does that translate to them winning?
What's your definition of winning?
If you're saying they're going to win they're going to win how many more games this year than they won a year ago?
I think they have a good chance to finish 500.
Really?
Absolutely. The Orioles absolutely have
a 15-game improvement?
I don't know what they won last year. 68, 60. I don't know. Doesn't matter. There's no difference between 65 and 68. And I'm not saying they're going to win 81. It might be 78. But they'll play games in September that determine whether or not they finish 500. I really believe that. Now, as I said earlier in the show, if Derek Lee's thumb starts bothering him in May and he can't play first base and Luke Scott has to go play first base, and if Brian Mattis feels a twinge in his arm in May, and if Matt Wieters hurts his shoulder in June, as we saw last year with Brian Roberts being out, one or two or three guys, when you only have 13 or 14 good players, one or two or three of them being out hurt you.
But I guess my problem with what you're saying is that you're saying it about guys that I just have absolutely no... I'm not disagreeing that they're not better. It's not an upgrade. I'm telling you...
J.J. Hardy is a vast upgrade over Cesar Chavez.
I agree, but J.J. Hardy, they're hoping, is the J.J. Hardy of 2 seasons ago. They got a lot of players. Sure. They got 3 players they're hoping...
If he's six homers and 38 runs batted in and he hits 268... Right. I mean, hell, Sturz has 2 homers.
They went out and got 3 players they're hoping... A year ago wasn't.
But this is how they operate.
I get it. But that's
this is what they do.
That's my problem with assuming that they're going to be better this year. That's my problem with it. That's how they operate. They go out and they get guys that aren't good.
Well, I think with Roberts, I think even if they didn't add these guys, with Roberts back and a more stable outfield configuration, where and by the way, PA is an injury waiting to happen again. I mean, let's not forget he spends 50 days on the single list every year. If just with Roberts back. And the overall kind of expected growth of the pitchers, they're a 70-ish win team there. You win, even though they weren't going to last year, you win 55 by accident.
Right.
I mean, you do. You win 55 because the other team doesn't try.
I hope you do.
So then how do you win 15 more games?
I don't know. It's been a question they've been trying to answer for a long time.
They haven't been able to do that. When's the last time they won 70?
5 years ago?
No, they got their. Yeah, no, you might be right. Actually,
does that sound right? It sounds right though.
Maybe. I don't know. I gotta look it up. They're going to be better. That's all. And again, sometimes that's not good enough for people.
But
and
why should it be good enough? If they are, and again, you're saying they are. I'm saying that's a big if. If they are better, why should that be good enough? If they're competing to be 500 in September, why should I care?
Because that's the process that you have to go through when you're running the club in the ground. Now, you could just go away and come back in 5 or 10 years, which is, by the way, what they've always thought you were going to do. And this is, we'll slap them around now for a little bit. This is the way they've always operated. They've always operated on this premise. Glenn Clark will come back when we win.
And the answer is, I'll come back if they win. That's the... They say when as if it's just going to happen.
No.
This team,
I'm with you.
I'd be back in April if this team looked at me like they were going to win.
Well, they might.
That's the difference. They don't look like a team that's going to win. They look like a team that did exactly
Well, they're
what we
not.
expect
I mean,
them to do.
winning meaning what?
That really is that's going to play games that really mean something.
Well, you're going to be disappointed with that. By the way,
No, I'm not, because I don't expect
They
it.
haven't won 70 since 2006.
Right, so 5 years ago. Right. Look, I'm not going to be upset at all because I don't expect them to. I just don't. I think that, and again, I'm the one that's saying that I think that you are assuming something that I don't think can be assumed based on the roster that they're going to put on the football field, on the field in April, or on March 31st, that is. Look, they look like they're trying to win. They get me immediately. You go out and you get a Adam Dunn, you get a Carl Crawford, you get a, dare I say the word, Cliff Lee, then you got me from day one.
Those guys weren't coming anyway.
I know they weren't. But that's how you get me from day one.
I'm with you.
Because then you look like you're trying to win.
I'm with you there.
This is if they win.
This is the way they always do.
If they somehow manage, and by the way, if somehow this group, if all the stars align and Brian Madison wins the Cy Young Award winner, or wins the Cy Young Award this year, if everything lines up perfectly, they'll have me in September. But it's if. It's not when, because I don't expect it, period. I don't expect them to win. And there's nothing about that organization that says...
Well, how many games do you think they're going to win this year?
Right now?
Yeah. How many do you think they're going to win?
72.
Okay. So is there that much difference between 72 and 78?
Yes.
Really?
Well, no, let me take that back. Let me take that back.
One game every fourth week?
No, you're right. It's not. I take that back. You're right.
If they win 72 games or 78, do you think that differently about them?
No, not if it's 72 and 78.
One game a month?
No, 72 and 78, not at all.
Okay. Well, I think that...
If they win 78, that's not good enough for me. Period.
Okay. Then your expectations just aren't... I mean, they're not winning 90 games.
Then I don't care.
Okay.
I mean, that's the end of it.
You're just being silly.
No, I'm not. Then I'm going to do the same thing I always do. I'm going to go, I'm going to sit in the stands, I'm going to be a dummy, pay my money, drink a beer, let them have it, and I'm going to root for a team that doesn't win.
This is the exact reason I like Glenn more than I like you.
I mean,
it makes sense. This is sensible.
Then winning 78 games isn't good enough. Ever.
Winning 78 games blows.
That means you're not
That's
good.
Awful. That means you're a D. It means you're below average.
I don't know how else to say that.
I'm shocked sometimes. Well, you can't talk about it.
By the way, I don't think we're on the radio, so I don't think anything.
You have to recuse yourself for the studio.
Hey, take a break.
Yeah.
Take a break. Take a quick break.
Let's go to break, because I don't think we're even on the air. We'll come right back. WNST from Dallas.